Ladies and gentlemen, this is JoeJinMovieSoAwesome. I'm Joe.
I'm One-Jin.
First of all, we would like to thank our 19th subscriber for joining our channel. You have allowed us for 6% month-to-month growth.
A massive, massive number.
It humbles us greatly that we have 19 people across the world joining in with us discussing movies and other shit. And it's amazing. Thank you so much. We are coming up with a logo as we speak, and it will be posted when ready.
Yes, it'll be a game changer.
We expect 20% increase in subscribers. But anyway, thank you for tuning in, guys. Last week, we missed it because there were some personal things, but now we're back. Here we go. We're going to talk about another Zahler movie called Bone Tomahawk, and Won-Jin has some strong opinions of it.
Yeah, and you as you recommended me this movie, you suspected that this would be my least favorite Zahler movie.
Yeah,
but
I did.
Actually, it turns out this is my favorite. This is my favorite.
I have a theory. I think Zahler's dialogue writing is more believable in a Western setting because it's such a far away place.
Okay.
So it seems more authentic. Because remember that line, like, why you've been squirting lemon juice at me since I arrived? I'm pretty sure no Western person living in the 19th century spoke like that. But
and, you know, that's a great point because what was it Dragged Across Concrete, the one with the bank heist?
Yeah.
Remember as one of the characters entered the bank, the bank manager and everybody, they talk in a very funny way.
Yeah.
And we thought it was quite peculiar.
You saying that sound funny reminds me of Django Unchained when the doctor first arrives and the other guy's like, speak English, goddammit. Why are you speaking like that? You know, like I know what you mean, like a almost
It's overly sophisticated,
overly dramatic. Yeah. But here it actually is, I guess, more believable. You know, it's a far off land. You know, in Western, we're more used to that.
Yeah.
But you know, this movie also has Kurt Russell. You know, and assemble cast that by the 1 hour 30-minute mark where we arrive at the cannibal den, you kind of get this feeling that you know all these characters.
That's true.
Yeah.
And another reason why I like this better than the other two is because remember, like, the first two we watched.
Brawl.
In terms of the date of the actual release of these movies, the first two that we watched were like the latter two.
Yeah.
But these movies were, like you said, they were slow burners. So it really took some time for the movie to gain traction in terms of its plot. But this movie had less of that effect. So we see these events happening as the movie progresses early on. And it kind of felt less like a slow burn. And I was just around time when I thought things were kind of getting sluggish, something happens.
I think that has to do with Patrick Wilson's leg being broke. And there are constant tension, like, I remember what you said, like, about Dragged Across Concrete, about, you know, predators and prey with the lion video. Here, that feeling is, I think, more magnified because it's the West. And, you know, when they sleep in camps, they're always being prepared for some kind of attack. So there's this constant tension over the environment. But there's also Patrick Wilson with the leg that's, you know, we're concerned about. So I think the show is, I mean the movie is really good at giving us constant tension and conflict to worry about.
And they established that tension very early on. The movie actually starts with someone getting their throat cut while sleeping.
Yeah. That shows how dangerous the world is, though. But I think that was brilliant because it turns out those thieves ain't shit compared to like these
waiting,
this cannibal Indians. Like, so you know, so and there is this moral emptiness to the world too. You know, it shows how, you know, because those thieves, they have funny dialogue too, but they make they make fun of the. I don't think they make fun of it, but they mention the Bible.
Yeah, it's bad luck to burn the Bible.
Yeah, but you guys,
they just murder people
in cold blood for thieving. So it kind of shows what kind of dangerous world this is. And I think we're always, like, since that very first scene, we're always on alert about that. That's why when the Mexican appears in the middle, that was a tense scene.
Yeah,
that was well filmed too. Very well filmed.
Because they also say in one of the dialogues before that happens that whoever approaches a camp at night without announcing him or herself is probably a raider or a thief.
That's what Matthew Fox's character says, and
John Bruder.
Yeah, and the deputy has a problem with that, and I like that little moral conflict too. You know, there's, and it keeps surprising us too. You know, this is a place where I think one of the great things about these characters are none of them are perfect, and none of them are uber powerful, but none of them can be underestimated.
Yeah,
I like how Matthew Fox wants because we start off hating him, but near his death he's pretty sympathetic. He's like, I'm gonna take some of them with me, and
I love the detail the director gave that character.
Yeah,
because
with the horse,
like the horse scene where he had to put her down. That was quite sentimental.
Yeah.
And in terms of the entire plot of the movie, that was completely unnecessary. And they actually invested a lot of time in that scene. They spent like 2 minutes for that.
Yeah, but it's like I think it's Zahler's style. Like he's willing to stop the main plot, so to speak, to add to characters. Yeah. I think we already saw this in Brawl in Cell Block 99 and especially in Dragged Across Concrete. So here, but I mean, each character's like moments are filled with details. I like the soup eating too. Yeah, you know, it's like it's funny. Like an old man and a less older man are they're in a power position. So like deputy's like, don't talk to the sheriff that way. He's the law. And like he's a great actor, by the way, in anything he does.
You know, up until like 30 minutes into the movie, I did not realize he was Richard Jenkins.
You didn't?
No, because his character was something completely different from what I had seen of him in other movies. And only when I saw this like a close up of him, I realized, oh my God, that's Richard Jenkins. He was doing such a brilliant job. I was so amazed by his performance. But then I was amazed even more by Matthew Fox's character. Yeah,
I mean, it flips the script too, isn't it? Because this is kind of like, you know, we're at an age where we're always reinterpreting Western. Since Unforgettable, now there's cowboys and aliens and all that. But here, I like how, you know, you would assume Matthew Fox, I mean, he is the most competent of them all, but he dies first. And Jenkins' character and Kurt Russell, they somehow pull it off together. Yeah. I also like the strong woman. I like how Patrick Wilson's wife is alive, and she's very calm under pressure. And, you know, so...
after watching these people get eaten, after being bisected alive.
God damn it. That now we have to mention that poor...
Nick, the deputy. Oh, but before that, one more thing on the Richard Jenkins character. I love the way he speaks. Like everything he talks about, he always like expresses his opinion by saying that it is the official opinion of the backup deputy. That blah 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 blah. Yeah, that was kind of funny.
Yeah, we all wish we had a deputy like that.
Yeah, he was very likable.
Yeah, a likable character, and I think he's one of those characters that's also. You know, in Korean movies, he's one of those 아저씨들, you know, very, sometimes nosy, but not necessarily in a, you know, unflattering way. You know, he's like that, and I like that detail too. And I also like Patrick Wilson's character. Like, I mean, you could argue that he's the least written character of them all, but he had the single-mindedness to save his wife, and you know, I think the movie sets up that really well by showing their relationship. They're almost like buddies, like one of those best couples that are, you know, friends,
Yeah, with the so-called poetry.
Yeah.
He's reading that letter that he wrote his wife.
Yeah, and both of them are hot as fuck. So like, I really like Patrick Wilson's acting here, and his acting shined during those leg treatment scenes.
And
like
you could tell that. Well, you could feel his resolve
and his pain too, because like when Jenkins' character. Like, they didn't amputate it, right? Like, they were going... They almost...
I think they set the bone in place.
Oh,
but
man.
I was quite surprised because after watching Zahler's later movies, I was expecting to see more, like, visual violence and gore on screen. But this movie was surprisingly...
What?
Well, except for the bisecting part.
No, like, here's the thing, though. Like, remember in the beginning that black stable boy got shot in the head and, like, eviscerated?
But the thing is, we see the aftermath. We did not see him get shot and get his face blown off or something.
No, we did. No, we did. With this and then...
was it?
It happened so fast, though.
And I think it was because it was dark.
Yeah, and no, listen, Won-Jin. Every violent scene... was there, but the thing is, I think Zahler's styles it happened so fast,
but the impression I got is I thought it was kind of reserved.
Yeah, you thought so?
Yeah.
Did you even
to the later movies?
Yeah, you know why that was? Because they were preparing us for the bisecting thing. Because because by midway, I was already thinking, man, this is hugely violent, and then. I think all Zahler movies, though, remember, like in Drag Across Concrete, the violence does escalate, though.
Yeah.
Those, like, I think violence is a key theme of his, but the difference between him and Tarantino, like we kept bringing up in the last podcast, is that Tarantino's violence is almost comic, the way the blood sprays and everything.
Yeah, like
it's
in the scene
over-exaggerated. But here, it's like the violence, the behavior is exaggerated, but like what's happening to the human body is pretty believable, and that was a shocking scene.
Yeah.
I mean, but I think you could argue that it delivered because it made me hate those Indians like for real. Every time they got clapped, I was like, fuck yeah, like kill them all.
And I love the touch that they gave these what were they called? Troglodytes or something. Yeah. They have that windpipe thing, so it kind of detaches. Like the humanity from them, they were more like animals.
They're totally other, right?
Yeah, they're just not human.
And even their body paint is like wraith-like or white ghost.
And what's his name? The professor. Yeah. The Native American guy, the guy we saw from Fargo.
Yeah, he was amazing.
Familiar
in Fargo.
faces, along with Patrick Wilson.
Yeah.
And he mentions. And we could feel his like hate towards this tribe. What did he call them? Like inbred something blah blah blah.
Yeah.
They would kill and rape their own mothers.
Yeah, grandmothers.
Complete animals.
And I love the racist touch too. Like this is a theme that I think Zahler keeps coming back to. Though he always mentions some race thing, but I think it's a realistic depiction of racism in our daily life. Because I love the line where, like, the deputy's like, they don't eat black.
They don't eat Negroes.
Yeah. So he was like, huh? Oh, do they think they're dirt?
They think they're poisonous?
Yeah. I mean, like, there are these, like, small, smart dialogue moments like that. And Kurt Russell is, he's still the central force, though. He plays the sheriff really well because everywhere he goes, there's authority to him. I really like that about like the Kurt Russell character.
It's not just the character, but I think it's also the dialogue and the way he delivers it. You know, like when he first encounters when he confronts the what's his name, Purvis in the bar.
Yeah,
you could feel the authority from the way his dialogue is delivered. And he reminded me a lot of Jeff Bridges in True Grit.
Yeah.
These guys play these characters, very well.
Yeah, and the dialogue was, I think dialogue was snappiest among all like all three Zahler movies too, because I think all those dialogue like served a purpose almost here. Like, yeah, some of them were sidetracking, but I think during the Mexican killing thing, I think the movie was trying to say like this group could implode. But so it keeps us tension going. You know, these are very different people with different beliefs, and almost a ragtag group of people going against like a hugely like menacing force almost. But it turns out they come out winning. Despite how violent it is, I loved how the wife was still alive. This would have been like a Saw-style moment, like if we went there and she already had her leg cut off, and they half eaten or something.
You know, I was kind of disappointed.
You thought so?
Because she was so in pristine condition.
Oh yeah.
Because remember, I borrowed a book from him called The Empire of the Summer Moon.
Yeah.
And that's based on a true story.
Yeah.
I know what these Native Americans did to kidnapped women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
There's no way that her dress is still intact. There's no way that she's that fine in that cell after a few days of abduction.
Come on now, this is a movie.
Well, yeah.
But
The bisecting was enough.
Yeah, so it makes Kurt Russell's like sacrifice in the end more like noble. I like how it's just the sound is shown. You could tell that they were working with limited budget though.
Yeah, I heard the budget was only $1.8 million.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing what they've accomplished with that budget.
And I think the actors probably joined because they saw the script and they loved it. Like, because it's such a. I mean, has a reinterpretation of Western been done before? Yeah, but not in this way though. It's so visceral, like, and there's barely any music.
Yeah,
it's always the sound. And I love how that kept me on the edge.
Yeah,
like,
it keeps us tense.
Yeah. Even when there's not much going on. Like, even in the beginning when they were gathering and starting the journey. Like,
and I think it also makes us pay attention to the sound. Because remember in the beginning, those,
the Troglodytes.
Yeah, the bandits.
Yeah.
They mention sound of horse hooves.
Oh, right.
And they can hear it from a distance. And it also engages the audience in trying to listen carefully to the sound. And I think removing the music actually amplifies this effect.
Yeah, yeah. It was really great. I mean, it's a singular experience. I mean, if you love Western and by the way, I have to warn anybody who hasn't watched this, if you can't stomach violence, I think you should avoid this
one. And gore.
Yeah, because especially that one violent scene of bisection is pretty shocking. It's done really well too. Like, their cave is so dirty, and they have these like makeshift like jails. I thought they could honestly break out.
Yeah, because the only thing they had was it was not even like a proper nail or anything. And the Indian chief design was terrifying too. With the tusk.
Yeah, he has the like saber tooth like tusk. He's almost like you said. They reminded me a lot of those guys from the 13th Warrior. Because that I think this movie takes like Zahler in general. I think he's an avid fan of old movies and like genres. I think he's really good at. He loves these genre films and he loves to bring these ideas together and interpret them in a new way. And I think this is one of those examples. Like, I wouldn't mind if some of the Zahler novels on Western become TV shows and stuff. Given how like TV show has great quality, and I think there's a demand for this kind of hardcore, gritty, violent shows. So I think I would welcome that. Having seen this movie.
And before watching the movie, I was wondering why the movie was called Bone Tomahawk, and I later on realized that it was one of the weapons that they used. They have like a tomahawk made out of bones. But one thing I'm still not convinced is there's no way that tribe is going to sharpen that bone so it can just slice through other bones.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen. Not with another bone. They're going to need steel.
No, but the name is awesome. When you hear Bone Tomahawk, you're like, is that a hardcore metal band name?
Or it kind of sounds like a steak.
You think so?
It kind of sounds like a cut.
Okay.
In beef or something. I don't know.
There were definitely a lot of tomahawk like throwing around. So, but anyway, this is an awesome movie. Like, let's give it a number grade.
I would give this movie an 8.5.
8.5.
8.5.
I give it an 8.5 too. It's one of those indie movies that lingers with you for a long time. As soon as I turn it on, and saw what those bandits did, I was just tuned in.
Mm-hmm.
And every dialogue, every like shot, like there were some smart shots too.
Mm-hmm.
Carried me away, carried me through.
Yeah.
Like the shots were done well in the fact that they were isolated.
Mm.
You don't know. It always made me feel in danger.
Yeah.
Like there's
You don't know
rarely
what's
like
surrounding
a
you.
wide shot.
Mm.
We always have limited information.
Mm.
But anyway, I give it a 8.52, and
Yeah.
that's our take on Bone Tomahawk, directed by Zahler.
We highly recommend it.
Yeah.
And I gotta say that there are a lot more movies that have delivered less with bigger budget.
Yeah, definitely. If you like this one, watch all 3 of Zahler's movies, and if you love it, please read his novels too. We highly recommend it. Anyway, this has been JoeJinMovieSoAwesome. Thank you, 19th subscriber, whoever you are. Please leave a reply. If you do, Won-Jin and I will work really, really hard to buy you the next Galaxy Z Fold 5 once we get enough subscription, and we will remember you. Thank you so much. See you guys next week. This has been JoeJinMovieSoAwesome. I was Joe.
I was One-Jin.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Dun dun dun. Ba da bum 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 bum.